Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Aftersun, and this movie is directed by Charlotte Wells, and I believe this is her first feature film, starring Paul Mescal, who was nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role. He didn't win, for those who are curious. He was just nominated. I thought this movie was pretty good. It was an A24 film, and usually that's a good sign for me. I usually like A24 films, for the most part. Some of them aren't too great, but for the most part, I like them. And I really liked the music in this film. I thought it added to the film a lot, and I like the tone of the film. It was always kind of like bittersweet the entire time, and it's a nice, simple coming-of-age story, and there isn't really much going on in terms of a story. There isn't really a plot to this film. It's just a father-daughter spending a vacation with each other, and there's some things that are going on, and it's mostly told through the perspective of the little girl who's like 11, Sophie, I believe the character's name is. I feel as though that added a lot to the film. It made it unique, and that's definitely something that I look for in A24 films. It's usually something that we've seen before, but taking a different approach to it or spin on it, and I feel as though that happened here, where we got something unique out of the experience. And sure, it does kind of somewhat break away from it being just from Sophie's perspective, just a little bit. At most, like 5 minutes-ish. Sometimes it just cuts to the dad, and you see his perspective for like a few minutes, but that's about it, really. And the characters in this movie are very likable characters and also very interesting, and just watching their journey was engaging for me for the most part. I think one of my criticisms with this movie is that I think it's too long, and also I feel as though this movie could have been like 20 minutes shorter and it would have been better for me. Because there were points where I was definitely feeling the runtime. Going back to my positives, I did feel as though the acting was very good in this movie. Even the child performance was convincing, because if she sucked in this movie, that would have ruined the entire film. And also, speaking of things that were kind of unique or interesting, there were some interesting shots in this movie, surprisingly, and the movie looks nice overall. There wasn't any shot that really stood out to me as like distracting or just took me out of the experience, and I do like how things are presented. And also, this is a movie that wants you to think about it when the movie's over. And the ending for this movie, like the last shot of the movie, really hit home for me. And I thought it was a really great last shot of the film. And although I did enjoy myself while watching the movie, and it did have some interesting themes going on, unfortunately, there were just some elements of the story that just felt reminiscent of Waves from 2019, and I just feel as though that movie handled certain things that this movie explored just much better for me. I can see some people saying that this movie was stale and just really boring and uninteresting, and if you really need like a gigantic story that has a lot of layers to it and it just keeps escalating and escalating, this is not going to be a movie for you. This is just a movie about characters and exploring certain ideas and what it would be like to just have like not much going on and just see how that plays out. And that's really what you get out of the movie by the end of the day. It's a very well put together film and some great sound design choices. I didn't even mention that. But there were some points where I was like, ooh, that's kind of interesting in terms of how it's sounding and also how things are framed. So definitely room to grow from this film. And I'm excited to see where this director goes next. So if all this sounds interesting to you, or at least most of what I said here sounds interesting to you, and it sounds like a movie that's up your alley, then check it out. It's currently on Netflix, so it should be pretty easy to find. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Aftersun a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Aftersun, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Perfect Blue. So look forward to that, and before I end this, yes, I know this wasn't in my Blu-ray collection video. That's because I literally bought both this and My Neighbor Totoro on Blu-ray the day after I finished reshooting my collection video, I should say. So next up is going to be Perfect Blue, then My Neighbor Totoro. So Perfect Blue is going to come up first, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.